Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I am your host, Garry Glenn. It has been quite a year for the Brenau Golden Tigers in their athletic department. They have finished in the top 10 in at least 4 different national championships or national polls. Now, we've already talked to the softball team. We remember we said they finished 3rd in the national tournament. They wound up ranked 4th in the country, but our softball team in the final polls. We bring to the show now Coach Blair Bachman of the Brenau swim team and Coach Krista Britt of the Brenau competitive cheerleading team. And Blair, a local girl from Gainesville, Georgia, who has been with us before to talk about swimming. And Krista, now tell me a little bit about your background. Now, where are you from originally?
I'm actually from Georgia.
Okay.
I was raised in Gwinnett, went to Shiloh High School.
Okay, no Shiloh.
So, yeah.
All right.
I'm a native girl.
A native girl. Well, that's good. That's a good thing.
You don't find those very often anymore.
Not at Brenau. They got a lot of international people over there. Now, we need to tell everybody that Blair's squad finished 8th, as I said, and Krista finished 2nd. Now, first of all, Blair, you didn't really take a quote-unquote full squad to nationals, did you?
No, we only took 5 of our 9. You have to qualify in individual events in order to go, and only 5 of our 9 qualified. But that being said, we placed 8th overall nationally and beat out teams with 12 to 18 on their roster. So that really just speaks to the quality of swimmers that we have on our team. I'm
going to use a little term. That's an awesome effort right there.
With
just that few girls there. And you probably had a lot of PRs in there, didn't you, huh?
Yeah, we actually all PRs. So we had all PRs, and this year we broke 15 of 18 records, school records.
How old is the swim program at Brenau?
The swimming program, we actually had a swimming program back in the 1970s and 80s, and it was reinstated in 2006. So
you really basically started over.
Yeah, we started over.
And how long? What has it been like to get to a top 10 in the nation level? I mean, you have to be a lot of hard work and a lot of dedicated people.
Yeah, we're working hard in the pool twice a day, almost every single day. Our season is almost 8 months long, so technically almost twice that of other seasons. But it's really the girls, because they work their tails off every single day. And, you know, really for me, I really want to bring quality swimmers onto this team. Like I said, taking 5 and placing top 10. You know, imagine what we can do taking 10.
Sure.
I mean, the sky's the limit. So.
It's a numbers game. The more people you got, the more chances you've got to qualify and score.
Exactly. So we're just trying to build the program bigger and build it in the right way. We want to bring in fast swimmers.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Krista, now tell me, competitive cheerleading now, and you are still, we need to tell everybody, you are still the competitive cheerleading coach at North Hall High School.
Yes, sir.
Doing double duty. This is not unusual for people here in the area. I remember we had that in the softball situation a couple of years ago. So how did you get into competitive cheerleading now? Where I should say that you were a cheerleader in high school?
Yeah, I've done it my whole life. My mom actually, I come from a really athletic background. My dad was a phenomenal baseball player. My grandfather was a football coach. My mom was a cheerleading coach at Georgia Tech. So I was on the sidelines of a football field with cheerleaders since I was 5 years old. So I really didn't know, any different. So it was really easy for me to make a transition from being a cheerleader to actually coaching. So I technically it's in my blood, and I really don't know any different.
Now, but the transition to competitive cheerleading, which has got a lot of elements of gymnastics and so forth.
Yes, sir, that's
It's
correct.
not this 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits at all.
No, not
all
anymore.
for Brenau, stand up and holler. All right?
No,
Okay,
no.
that's not it. Okay.
No. I think actually North Hall was a great segue for me with that. I was really young when I took that job at North Hall, and this will be my 12th year. And I think just being able to coach competitively at high school definitely helped to make that transition into college. I've always been one that loved tumbling and loved stunting. I was never really one that loved, the cheerleading on the sideline, so to speak. I was always the one that, wanted to tumble and jump and stunt. That was kind of always what I loved to do. So it actually, thankfully, came pretty natural for me. And to take basically a fledgling squad. First year, right? At Brenau?
At Brenau, yeah.
Yes, sir. This is our first year.
First year in the 2nd place finish.
Right.
How do you do that?
It's actually, I don't even know where to start. First of all, Brenau's been so supportive. Our athletic director and just all the other coaches were really supportive with, me being the new, coach on the block, so to speak. Anything new is great and exciting, which actually helped my recruiting for last year. So I just think, with the recruits that I have some phenomenal athletes, girls that have been, cheering competitively on some world national championship teams. So that obviously, helped. And I've got just some great talented, hardworking girls. The fact that it is a new program really helped, bring in those new athletes, being part of something new and foundational and exciting. Then the backing of the university has just been, every single one of those things has actually, helped in us doing as well as we did.
Question for both of you. Has it been tough? Brenau's an NAIA school, not an NCAA school. Has it been tough to recruit?
I think it's different, the type of athletes that you recruit, but I think there are so many great aspects to being an athlete on the NAIA level. I think that when I compare it for recruits, I say, do you want to be a big fish in a smaller pond or a small fish in a big pond? And, some girls jump at that opportunity and really want to take a program to the next level, and that's what they have the opportunity to do with the NAIA.
Plus, Krista, there's so many good athletes out there that they run out of places to go. Like as Blair said, you got to go somewhere, and you might as well go somewhere where you can be recognized.
Right. Right. It actually wasn't difficult for me to recruit. I think more importantly, you made a great point. There's a lot of cheerleading is such a growing sport that there really isn't enough places for them to cheer at the collegiate level. So that obviously helped. As far as the NAIA goes, with them recognizing cheerleading as a sport, which is something NCAA does not, that for me was great because I'm able to scholarship my athletes because they are considered, cheerleading is considered a sport at the NAIA level. So for me, that actually wasn't a deterrent at all. If anything, it was an added bonus. You
realize, of course, what you've done. You've set the bar pretty high, right? So
I know, right?
Where do you go? I mean, the only place you can go from second's first, right? You got a little room to move there, but I guess you like that, huh? You both are competitors, and you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely like the fact that we're moving up, and our goal for this upcoming year would be top 5. So we're really got our eyes set on that, and hopefully we'll be able to achieve it.
All right. Well, what's the chances, Coach?
It actually at nationals this past year, the team that actually beat us, they beat us by less than a quarter of a point.
Wow.
And they actually just had moved into that division about a month earlier. So my girls are hungry for that national championship because they really felt like it could have been theirs had that team not come into our division. So they're hungry for it. I've actually signed 15 new athletes to add to the team for next year. So I've got 26 really strong, hungry girls that are working hard for that national championship. So Lord willing, I can bring it home. We'll see.
Right. Blair, thanks for coming in. Brenau swimming coach. Krista, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck with the cheerleading. We also need to say that we need to congratulate Andre Ferreira of the tennis team. They wound up 6th in the nationals. But Andre, he's got a little thing going on this weekend. He can't be with us because he's getting married, and we wish him well. Later on in the summer, maybe we'll have him to talk about what's going on in the Brenau tennis program. There will be a new face patrolling the sidelines at Johnson football. That story is coming up when we continue.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spirit wear and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
We are back. I'm Garry Glenn. This is Hall County Sports. Now, Johnson has named a new football coach, replacing Paul Friel, who went back to his home state of Maryland to take a job up there. New guy is Jason Roquemore, who comes to the job lately from being the defensive coordinator at North Cobb Christian. In fact, he is already on the campus, on the job, and we bring to the show now Jason Roquemore. And Coach Rock, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And welcome to Hall County.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Tell me a little bit about your background. Now, I read some of you coaching. You played a year of football at West Georgia College over there. So tell me a little bit about what transpired.
Well, actually, played in high school. I had a chance to play at the next level. and found out I wasn't very good. That's kind of the I guess the real, if you want to be honest about the situation. But did that, and then actually started coaching in Carrollton. I did my student coaching, my student teaching out there in the area. Was fortunate enough to get on. Coached 2 years there with Raven. Actually came in with Raven's first year there.
Carrollton, pretty good school.
Yeah, it is, and it was a great learning experience for me. I've been very blessed to be around a lot of great men, in my travels, and I think that, they say it kind of, as far as your mentors and how you shape out, as far as what's your style and your philosophy, you get that from a lot of different guys, and that's what I've kind of done. So I've been very fortunate. After that, moved up, worked with Coach Scott Jones at Kennesaw Mountain, became the defense coordinator there. Was there for 7 years, and it was big stage 5A football. I got there, we had a little over 3,300 kids in the school.
Wow.
So it was kind of good to go from a small town like Carrollton, where football was the main thing in town, and then you go to a big county like Cobb, where you have 15 high schools in the county, and everybody is good. And it was a tough region schedule, but really enjoyed that. And then this past year, went and got on at North Cobb Christian. I have a 4-year-old son, was starting K3.
Yeah.
And it was really just a great time to kind of step back and really be involved in what he was going through, and letting him, start the K3 process, being there at the school while he was there. So it's kind of cool, been very blessed along my travels.
Mm-hmm. So what brings you to Johnson, other than the fact that the job was offered? And I'm sure you had lots of prayerful consideration with that in your family. And so what brings you to be the coach of the Knights?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. From a size, it reminds me a lot of the Carrollton teams. Right now we have 68 on the roster. And we're adding 1 or 2, it seems like, every other day, which is good. But I just think the size, the facilities, and then the administration. I think the administration there is just, from an athletic standpoint, I don't think you can work for better people. They've been very, very supportive. I've been just very blessed, again, to kind of wind up at a place where the administration's been great, the kids are great, the community, everywhere I go, I meet somebody new. They kind of, I guess they kind of recognize who I am already, and just really have welcomed me with open arms. So
you had a chance to meet some of the parents and players already, right?
Yeah. We had an ice cream social at the school, and it was a time to, just kind of sit back and relax and talk to them on a personal level, kind of talk about our vision and where we want to go. So it's been, like I said, it's been very positive, very great, and the support that we've received the last week or so has just really exceeded my expectations.
Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. But this is your first head coaching job. You ready for this now?
I think I am. I think you get in this business and you really want to. You want to get better every day, and there's a part of you that wants to have that shot. And I've been close several times. I told Mr. Lewis during the interview, I said, I'm pretty good at being the bridesmaid. Never have been a chance to be the bride, but I think I am. Again, I'm really going to lean on a lot of people. By no means do I have all the answers, but with my staff and, again, the guys that I've worked for, that's the greatest thing about coaching. Is it's one of the best fraternities that you could ever come across. Just the relationships that you develop with other coaches, the relationships you have with the kids. So I'm very anxious and excited about meeting the other guys here in Hall County and developing those relationships and going down those roads.
I know you have a chance of that later on in the week when the FCA challenge comes to Johnson football. But Johnson's had a drought. You go into this with your eyes wide open. It's been, I think, 2004 since they had a winning football team. And it's been tough over there. So I'm going to be blunt. What makes you think you can turn it around, Rock?
Well, it's about our purpose. It's about our attitude. Our kids, they have to understand that every single day there's 3 things that just can't be compromised. Our purpose, our atmosphere, and then we have to win every day. And then that's what we're really stressing. I think in the past, for whatever reason, I think we did a lot of surviving. It was, here we go again, you know. And that's something that I think young people, they can really latch on to. And it's something that they can carry with the rest of their lives, you know. But you've got to make a choice. You're either going to win or you're going to survive. And then just doing the little things with a purpose, you know, whether it's racking weights in the weight room, whether it's transitioning from drills or stations or whatever the case may be, you know, we've got to understand that it's the details of the everyday little things that really make the big difference. So, that's where our focus has been. I mean, we have, you know, at times they've kind of laughed and it's kind of been silly, but from our locker room, you know, we've started a pride patrol where, you know, different groups are cleaning up every day. Helmets are hung in the same place every day. You know, cloth items, they go here. So us just paying attention to the details, us just making sure that we understand that it's the positive purpose and the attitude that's going to make a difference when it comes and transitions into, you know, the Friday night success.
What have you seen so far? I know, as I said, you haven't been on the job very long, but you have been on the job a little bit. So what have you seen so far? Well,
I see a lot of want to. I'll just be honest with you. You know, our kids right now are working as hard as any kids out there in the state. We got great kids. You know, we got talented kids. You know, it was really a big disconnect for me, especially probably the second day, just in the weight room alone. You know, we got kids that should be able to compete with anybody. You know, we're strong. You know, we're working to be more explosive and some things like that. But for the most part, our kids should expect to compete and be successful. You know, there's no reason that I don't feel like we can't. So that's another thing is having the kids just understand and expect more of themselves. You know, we talk about it. This is a big theme for us. It's our direction, not our intention, that's going to determine our destination.
What can we expect from a Roquemore coach team this fall?
Well, we're going to be physical. You know, that's we're going to play a physical brand of football. I think that's the way the game was meant to be played. You know, when you can impose your will offensively and defensively on the other team, that has a lot to be said. And then we're going to be conditioned. You know, we talk about in our weight room. Our weight room is a game changer, and we understand that when we go in there, it's time to punch the clock, roll the sleeves up, and go to work. So as far as being conditioned and just being physical, that's how the type of brand of football that we want to play at Johnson High School.
All right. Jason Roquemore, as I said at the beginning, welcome to Hall County. Good luck to the Knights.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're back to hand out some awards when we come back. Garry Glenn back here in the studio with Rob Bruce, pastor of McEver Road United Methodist Church. And Rob, even though it's summertime, still a lot of activity here at the church.
Yes, there is. You know, we've got a mission trip coming up the 1st of July where we'll be going to the Gulf Coast of Mississippi to help Katrina victims. A lot of people don't realize there's still a lot of people living in trailers and not in homes. So we're going to be down there in July building a home for a family.
All right, and a series coming up on the book of James.
That's right. We have a series that's been requested from the congregation on the book of James. It'll begin the end of June and run through July.
And one more thing I want you to talk about is the vision statement that came out of a recent planning retreat.
Right. Yeah, our vision statement is loving Christ, loving people, and help people to love Christ. And that vision is our roadmap, if you will, to be able to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world.
Rob Bruce, we'll see you in church on Sunday.
Gary, we'll see you then.
Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McEver Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McEver Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McEver Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. Garry Glenn back, Hall County Sports to the TV. Time to hand out some awards for this past spring season. First of all, the athletes, the finalists for the Athlete of the Spring in the male division. Track and field, North Hall's Luis Gonzalez, a finalist. He was best in the AAA 3,200 meters, knocked almost 7 seconds off his personal best mark in the event to win the state championship, 9:28.78 his state championship time, almost a half minute faster than his sectional time. He was also second in the region in the 800. From golf, Parks Brown, Gainesville golfer, Hall County and state individual champion. In baseball, Michael Geddes of Gainesville, 12 wins, no defeats on the mound. Also played a fine outfield, had a 2.04 ERA as a pitcher. He also at the plate had 9 homers, 45 RBI, 44 runs scored, and a batting average of .389. But our winner comes from track and field. Austin Eckenroth of Flowery Branch had the state's highest vault during the spring. He won the region with 16.8. He won the region and then the 4A state championship. He did 15.5 3/4 in the state and defended his title. Tough thing to do. He's going to vault at South Carolina at the next level. He was selected by the Atlanta Track Club as the recipient of the Bruce Yohe Award for Field Event Performer of the Year in Georgia. He was also the Times Boys Track Athlete of the Year, and he is our male Athlete of the Spring. Also, some honorable mentions I need to mention from baseball. Stephen Mason of Gainesville High School, a leadoff batter with a .456 average, 7 homers, 43 RBI, 48 runs scored, and 7 steals. Played second base mostly, but he also had a win and a save from the mound. And A.J. Benefield of Johnson Baseball, the county's highest batting average at .464, 6 homers, 33 RBI, 23 runs scored, and he walked 26 times. Had a good eye at the plate. All right, our finalists for the Girls Athlete of the Spring. From West Hall, Maia Booker, second in the region and state track and field in the 100 meters, second in the region and state at 100. She was second in the region in the 200 long jump and both relay teams. From soccer, Cassidy Elrod led Flowery Branch with 27 goals and 17 assists, headed to Georgia Southern to play soccer, the Region 8 4A Player of the Year and the Times Girls Soccer Player of the Year. And from tennis, Becky Benton and Durden Smith, 20-2 at number 1 doubles for Flowery Branch High School, first team all-region, only lost 4 sets the entire season. They also got a Times Award. But our winner is from Olympic weightlifting. Ellen Kircher from Flowery Branch won the Nationals, the state, and finished 11th in the world at 48 kilograms. That's about the 105, 106-pound weight class. She is called the best 48-kilogram female Olympic lifter in the country by her coach, C.J. Stockel. Ellen is headed to Colorado on a scholarship. All right. Our teams and coaches. For honorable mentions, out of track and field, Cindy Hereford, West Hall, Hall County and region champions on the girls' side, 14th at state. And from soccer, honorable mention to the Gainesville coaches, Rick Howard, the region champs and state runners-up on the boys' side, and Mark Wade, Gainesville girls coach, region champs and state Final Four. And honorable mention also to the East Hall boys soccer coach, Chris Horton, best finish in school history and made the state Elite 8. From baseball, honorable mention to Jeremy Kemp from Gainesville, region champs and state Final Four. And from tennis, Ginger Jackson, Flowery Branch High School, led the team to the best ever finish at 22-2, a region championship and Elite 8 at state. And also honorable mention on the collegiate level to the Brenau tennis and softball teams and their coaches, Andre Ferreira of tennis and Devin Thomas of softball, 6th and 4th in the NAIA final national ranking. But our winners come from golf. Hall County region and state champion coaches from Gainesville. For the boys, Bryson Worley and Clay McDonald for the girls. Hard to argue with when you're the best of the best. And boy, they were the best at just about every level this particular spring. Now, it's not too long until we name our athletes, teams, and coaches for the year 2011 through 2012. You want to be on hand for that. Okay, some other things. Now, last week we told you that the North Hall baseball player Jesse Strickland, who's headed for North Georgia to play baseball, was selected to play in the multi-state Heartland Classic baseball tournament as part of Team Georgia. Also on that team, Ryan Griffith and Stephen Mason of Gainesville. Mason headed to play ball at Georgia Perimeter College, and Griffith also playing at the next level for the Paladins of Furman. For the Elephants this past year, let me remind you of his stats one more time. Mason, 456, 7 homers, 43 RBI, 48 runs scored, and 10 steals. Griffith hit 402 with 39 runs scored, 25 RBI, and 17 steals. Now, Strickland was team MVP for the Trojans after hitting 419 with 25 RBI. He's already played in one All-Star event this summer, the Senior All-Stars deal in Columbus here in Georgia. Now, this Heartland Classic used to be the Sun Belt Senior Classic. It's in Norman, Oklahoma. Team Georgia won the first tournament under the new name in 2010 and was the runner-up to Texas last year. Now, the Times listed their baseball player of the year just this past Sunday, Gainesville's Michael Geddes. That's hard to argue with. Once again, the numbers. 12 wins, no losses as a pitcher. 4 of those came in the postseason. ERA, 2.04. He also was a fine defensive player in the outfield. At the plate, .389 batting average, 9 homers, 45 RBI, and 44 runs scored. Wow. He helped the Elephants to a 31-0 start, a 32-2 final record in the state Final Four as a sophomore. His coach, Jeremy Kemp, by the way, was the player's baseball Coach of the Year after they set some records with that 31-0 start. Now, there's a huge Little League tournament locally at Lanier Point through Sunday. Next week, we got some folks from the Gainesville Park and Rec Department scheduled to come in to talk about this District 10 All-Star event. The 12 and under Flowery Branch travel baseball team recently won the High Tide Grade 8 Bracket Championship in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This was a Ripken Experience event for the Junior Falcons, who beat the Lakewood Ranch Bulls 10-7 in the championship game. The Branch guys beat teams from Illinois, Ohio, Tennessee, and Florida as they went unbeaten in tournament play. Well, it was a good outing for Gainesville High School golfer Nathan Williams in Greenville, South Carolina recently. He won the 14-15 age group and finished second overall to lead a number of Red Elephants at the Furman Junior Classic, which is a part of the Southeastern Junior Golf Tour. Gainesville's Meg Callahan was fourth, and Morgan Reese placed ninth in the 15-19 girls division. In addition to Williams in the 14-15 group, Spencer Ralston finished seventh. In the 16-19 boys division, Lawson King ninth and Grant Lassiter 14th. Now, Ralston, who will be a freshman next year at Gainesville, won 3 straight Atlanta Junior Golf Association events just this last week in the 13-14 age group. Now, he goes to a team that, won the state championship this past season. Morgan Reese, by the way, competed in 3 Atlanta Junior Golf tournaments just this past week and finished in the top 10 all 3 times, including a win at the Mossy Creek course when she shot a 73. Got a couple of more tournaments scheduled this week. The Southeastern Juniors in Macon and the Atlanta Classic in Johns Creek. Teammate Madeline Harr this past week won her flight at the Georgia Girls Championship in Beaufort and wound up 35th overall. 5 Gainesville High golfers made the 70-player cut after 36 holes at the Georgia Junior Championship at Doublegate Country Club in Albany last week. Grant Lassiter finished the second round tied for 13th at 3 over par. Jackson Bishop tied for 29th at 6 over par, and Pep Brown tied for 40th at 8 over par. Reeves Bell and Lawson King finished tied for 57th at 10 over par. Now, Bishop wound up turning in the best finish among the area golfers. He totaled 225 after shooting a 3 over 75 on the last day of the tournament, put him in a tie for 24th. Duluth's Andy Shim, by the way, won that event, shooting under par for each of his 3 rounds, including a 2 under 70 the last round to finish 11 under for the tournament. Now, in the guys and dolls tournament over at Chattahoochee here locally, the winners, the team of Ann Hollaball, Ed Pledger and Ricky Von Stroud, Jack Prather, Larry Smith, and Peggy Barfield runners-up. All right, our athletes of the week coming from golf, Gainesville golfers Spencer Ralston and Morgan Reese. Okay, the state of Georgia has turned out some pretty good swimmers over the years, and that fact now includes Hall County State champion Paul Powers of North Hall, who got himself an invite to the Olympic trials in Omaha, Nebraska. His time of 23:42 for the top spot in the B finals in the 50-meter freestyle at the recent Mutual of Omaha Swim Invitational in Nebraska is the second fastest time in the country for a 16-year-old this year. By the way, his younger brother Ty's time of 24:59 was the second fastest time for swimmers of his age. Flowery Branch alumnus Erica Rucker, now running for South Carolina, qualified recently for the International Association of Athletics Federation Junior World Championships. She did it by placing second in the 400 meters at the USA Junior Nationals. The Junior Worlds will be at the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, Spain, July 10th through the 15th. Erica will run the 400-meter dash and be a part of the Team USA 4x400 relay team. Now, this past Saturday, they ran the Chris Galt 5K, benefiting Parkinson's disease research, starting at Flat Creek Baptist Church. Overall male, a former Flowery Branch runner, Kenny Slavic, a 19-year-old out of Beaufort now, 16:18 is his time. That's a 5:15 pace. Overall female was Michaela Hewell, a 15-year-old from Lula. Overall Masters male was Gerardo Hernandez from Gainesville. He's 41. Overall Masters female was Belinda Moon, a 46-year-old from Watkinsville. The overall Grandmasters male, Bo Riles from Bogart. The overall Grandmasters female, Donna Presley, a 66-year-old. Donna's a state record holder at various distances and is a very long-time runner. Video is courtesy of her husband. Don't forget the ADA Memorial 5K and 1-mile Freedom Stroll, July 21st. That'll begin on the square in downtown Gainesville. USA Track and Field Junior Olympics Georgia State meet wound up this past Sunday at Stars Mills High in Fayetteville. A number of our local athletes were there. The regional meet, July 5th through the 8th in Virginia. Hope to have more on that next week. And East Hall basketball player Chris Orr gets a shot at playing at the next level. Chris is committed to St. Andrews University. He was at 6'6" by his senior year and averaged over his career as a 4-year starter for the Vikings, 9 points and over 7 rebounds and over 4 blocks per game. We wish him well. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Garry Glenn.